All right, this is day 5? Day 5, yeah. Yeah, because day 6 of our trip.
I think.
It is. I've been doing each day, so this is...
I know it's January 21st.
Yes. Okay, so it's our 5th day in India. Feels like we've been here for...
5 months.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Both in the good and the bad ways.
Yeah.
It's weird how time goes so fast, but yet goes so slow.
Yep.
If that makes any sense. Probably doesn't make any sense, but it's...
Today was a whirlwind, though. Today was a very good day, but it's one of those days where you feel like, did I do a lot? Then you start thinking through, going, I didn't have a minute where I was able to just sit.
It's weird here because doing anything is exhausting.
Yeah.
You know, like we all, at a health counter on our phone, right?
So that was the worst, waking up, because last night, before we even talk about the day, all of us woke up in the morning kind of making jokes. Like, I literally woke up and thought there could be a fire in the building. It was that smoky.
Smoky inside.
Yeah.
So the right here in Kolkata, where basically the meter is at the end of Russell Street, the air quality index this morning was 410.
It's a beautiful smoggy morning here in Kolkata, India on Russell Street. Actually, it's a really smoggy morning here on Russell Street. Air quality index is 410 when we woke up this morning. It's actually gone down to a very comfortable 396, but it's pretty hard to breathe today. So we're just about ready to head to the school. It is going to be a fantastic day. We can't wait to hang out with the kids today.
Here. And you looked it up for North Kolkata.
Yeah, just up the road, a mile.
680 something.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even know it went over 500, and it was six something.
I don't know how you could breathe because it was so thick. And the problem is, it's not just like smoke from a forest fire.
No, imagine a garbage fire, like burning
it's basically
plastic.
Garbage and plastic and chemicals and tires in your lungs.
Yeah.
So none of us slept really good again, and that gets you kind of worn down, right? There's just two of us here tonight talking with each other because Amanda, she just came to
we
the
just
end,
go to bed,
and she just, there's a point where you don't want to push yourself any farther than you should.
Yeah.
And
no, because something could be pneumonia, could be if you keep pushing. So
Yeah.
just rest.
so it started out stressing our body, just physically.
But took us like a half hour for a bus to come by, and then we finally
gave up.
ordered an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's 90. What it was? 60 rupees to ride the bus, or 90 to ride the Uber.
No, it was 90 rupees to ride the bus for the
Okay.
three of us.
Yeah.
141 rupees to take an Uber, which is 50 rupees over, which is 70 cents more for the three of us to ride in a car.
Yeah, it literally was $2 to go to work.
So
school.
my vote is things like any day we're doing a photo walk, which is pretty much every morning from this point forward, we take an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
I
just don't want the Uber we had this morning.
It was a pooper.
It was very stinky.
Not an Uber,
It
Uber.
It smelled like someone had urinated
It
in
did.
the
It was
car.
a urinal Uber, but
And so in the morning it's like 61, and people literally have coats and beanies. The guy that was driving today had like a giant work coat and a beanie,
they're freezing.
and the windows were all rolled up, and it stunk, and it was like steaming.
You could not wait till you just roll down those windows.
Please.
But he was so cold. In fact, you remember that guy that we were waiting for the bus, comes up to us, and people always come up to us.
Where are you from?
Where are you from? And it's not that they want anything from you; they're just interested to find out if you're a tourist or what you're doing here, because there's not a lot of tourism. And he was from Varanasi, and he was freezing.
It's like, aren't you cold?
And we're all just in our shirt sleeves, like, no, this is fine, but it's just funny the difference, But like you said, there's 5 months of the year that it's the surface of the sun.
Yeah.
Here, you go from that to 60 degrees, it is cold.
Yeah, your bodies are just not used to 60 degrees.
So we caught the Uber to school, made it there in plenty of time still, even though we were 30 minutes past our wanted to be their time, but still worked out perfect. We got there before the teachers.
Yeah, yeah.
maybe a quarter of the students were there.
We got there so early they hadn't opened up the bathroom that we use.
And you knew that because
Because I had to go at the bus stop. And I didn't get to go till after like school started.
you should always use the restroom before you go. But overall, yeah, today was a great day. It was energizing but energy depleting at the same time. These kids that we have this year,
Oh, they're so good.
I love these kids. It was really fun to watch. So, well, let's back up even before I start talking about how great it was.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not negative that I'm going into, but we've talked about flexibility, right? You got to be flexible on these kind of trips because things change. And we even just experienced that just before we were
We
filming
just
this.
got done rearranging our schedule.
And we're just trying to, work it through together. And
Yeah. And
I
it's
don't,
hard when
none-
you're tired and-
Neither of us were arguing with each other, but it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, just figure it out and do
Just
it.
make-
You figure it out, or you figure it out.
Wasn't making sense.
Yeah, so-
because they threw us, it was like.
So what happened is we get to the school, we plan on doing a lesson in the morning, a lesson in the afternoon, today.
Yeah.
A little different setup on the rest of the days. Well, it turns out we couldn't do the lesson in the morning.
Yeah,
She
because
didn't
they
want
had,
it
she's
because
like,
they had-
that's the maths and the science.
primary
and-
classes. So okay, so we ended up hanging out basically all morning at the school.
Yeah, just
Just
bothering classes.
bothering classrooms, and it's pretty funny because every time we go in, all the kids have to stand up. Good
and say,
sir."
good morning, sir, good morning, ma'am.
And so,
and they wait until
yeah,
you say, sit.
Hello.
Good morning! You're loud. Sit.
I just love what you do. Like you start to walk in, they all stand up, and then you walk right out of the class.
I just put 1 foot in. It's like,
They watch
do
them.
the hokey pokey.
Yeah, bob her up and down.
Yeah.
But so we ended up hanging out, but then we had lunch, and they do a great job making us lunch. They make us feel very welcome.
Yeah. The food was so good this year.
It's good. They do a great job. We actually at school today. The cool part about doing this hangout thing again was that 2 of our former students, Uzma and Nancy,
Came by.
came because they had exams today at the school that they're going to, the secondary school now, and they came by and hung out, and they got to see Amanda again. It was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then I happened to round the corner
Oh, yeah.
and peek up, and there is Shreyans, who happens to be one of my favorite guy students from last time, is walking by the gate just straight ahead. I'm like, hey, dude! And point out, he's like, and he comes walking through the gate.
Yeah.
Greet each other. It was a fun moment to actually see him.
Yep.
That was cool.
It's great to see him. Yeah, and then Nancy and Uzma were like, hey, we need vegetables for our lessons, and please take us. And so they took us through Howrah up to where a guy was selling vegetables. And so we got like the giant bag of vegetables for 40 rupees.
Like it had tomatoes and
Yeah, it was 5 tomatoes, 5 carrots, 5 everything.
Awesome.
And it was 40 rupees, which is like,
50
60 cents or something. And we go, we get some fruit too. I go and get 5 oranges and 5 pomegranates. 220 rupees. Like, we're complaining, but that's like what? $3?
Yeah, $3.50. It's $4 altogether.
Yeah, that we just used for our rule of thirds so kids could
But when
set
you're,
them
when
out.
you're saying it's it came out to 304 rupees altogether for that stuff.
It sounds horrible.
Again, it's $4, right?
Yeah.
You buy an orange at home and it's 68 cents on sale, right? One orange, right? Or a
Yeah.
banana for 29 cents at Trader Joe's, one banana. But then we're going $4 for 12 pounds of fruit, right? Including the exotic pomegranate.
Yeah.
Which is kind of silly. But
One of the things we were always excited because last year, what we found is that like after we were done, we left the vegetables and fruit because we did it last year, and we like forgot something and came back, and we saw around the corner, and the teachers were like passing like and they were
like
all
fruit trading
like
cards.
and they were taking that fruit and vegetables home for dinner, I guess, and they were excited, and we were like, let's get lots this time. So it's great to be able to go take them into
Yep.
the headmistress office and go, can you please share these with the teachers? She's like, you could take them. It's like, no, and they're like, she's like, okay, I'll do that.
No, that's always
So,
fun. And it's great, again, Nancy and Uzma to walk us over to the
Yep.
guys selling stuff. So that was awesome.
Which also gave them enough time to work up the courage to say, "Sir, can we talk to you? We have no way to communicate with you. We need phones." So first they hit me up for buying them phones. And then when I said, "I don't know, I'll have to think about it, I can't tell you," they hit up Steve. But Steve gave them the right answer.
I said, you know, guys, I have to ask Mr. Rajiv what he thinks. And they went, oh. And it's, you know, if it was me, just straight up, I would say, yeah, it's not going to cost you barely anything, right? It's $2 a month even for a cell phone.
Yeah.
So it's like, no problem. But the problem is, we've got 450 students in that school.
And then Amon's going to go, because he goes to school with them, "Sir,
You know, and then
I have no way to talk to you."
15 kids in my class. We've got 15 kids from last year. They're going to find out, and like, and then pretty soon you're Verizon of India. You know, I don't want to be that.
No.
So there's being generous and just being smart that you have to be careful about.
Yeah. Even today, we got to watch, all the little kids eating lunch. We kind of just played with them. We got really involved in that whole thing. And just seeing other kids that were going like, "Man, I don't think that kid ate." You're just kind of looking at other kids and you're thinking, "Man, I want to go buy him some food." But then you start looking around and realize there's like 20 kids that are doing that. And maybe they did eat just quick, but it's like...
Come to think of that, maybe it just hasn't happened yet because it's in
They
the
used
school
to
year.
feed 'em.
But they used to feed them.
Yeah.
And everybody had like a little lunchy thingy today.
Yeah.
And some of them even look like a Lunchable. I mean, things have changed a lot, but like what happened to the metal plates with the rice and they're scooping it with their hand?
I don't know. Oh, excuse me.
That's something I would like to know, but I don't know who to ask.
Yeah. So we got to walk around and look at weird food. And I'm saying weird like being negative, but it was weird. Is that like cheese or chicken or...
Oh, you mean the kids' food, yeah.
The kids' food is what I'm saying. It's just kind of...
They were eating a lot of weird things. In fact, that thing you were talking about, it looked like it was a little box and it had what looked like the consistency of very dry string cheese, or it could be very dry chicken.
Yeah, it was almost to look like dried chicken, but then it was breaking in perfect strands like cheese.
So I don't know what it was, and he couldn't tell us what it was either. So,
yeah.
So we did that. It's always fun to hang out with these kids.
Yeah, we played badminton. I played badminton today. I crushed it too.
The thing is, so these kids are wonderful, and I don't know if you found this, but like you're taking these pictures of these kids. Well, what happens if you maybe see a kid that you say, "That's going to be a great portrait. Stand over here." Well,
as soon as you
lift the camera, you've got now 5 kids.
Yep.
Suddenly, there's 10 kids.
And they're pushing at you.
And there's 6 more that are sticking their hands up or always doing the peace sign. Like, what happened to my nice portrait? So it's harder, actually. I mean, there was nonstop of taking pictures of those kids.
Yeah, once you start, there's less handshaking though this year.
There's really been none.
Yeah, not too much.
Which in some ways is not a bad thing. Because sanitation is not
the strong
number one strong suit here.
Yeah, even American kids. I don't want to shake too many little kids' hands, but yeah, especially not here.
So we finished our great lunch, and then it was time for class.
Yeah. So we moved class upstairs. We had them, since there was only like a couple 8th graders, we're like, "Can we just take the 8th grade class?" And so they said, sure. They moved them. And
which was awesome.
2nd floor, it's all like open air, those upper rooms.
Being in the upper room.
So here's what's cool. So we're sitting there getting ready for class, and Steve or Amanda says, "Look." And they point at a fluorescent light that's above the chalkboard. There's a dove had built a nest, and she's sitting on a nest inside class. Because again, there's open windows, just open air.
Which reminds me,
which is cool.
You're doing peace, yeah?
The dove.
The theme?
There's the...
Build that in.
Okay.
What's the symbol for peace?
Una paloma blanca.
They'll say, "Sir, it's not a dove, it's a pigeon." You're like, it's the pigeon of peace.
Peace pigeons.
I digress.
Okay.
So
we had the last 2 periods.
Yeah.
Which was like an hour and
fast.
10 minutes or something.
Fast. So it was kind of funny because all of our materials are on Google Drive, right, with Google Docs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to have internet access. Well, we still didn't have internet access from the school, and it's kind of a pain. I remember that, man, last year, trying to get hooked up, and then it always drops off. So we've got, we got this little Sky
Sky
Roam,
Roam.
which is awesome, little hockey puck disc, which gives us Wi-Fi worldwide. And
It wouldn't connect today.
I couldn't get the dumb thing to connect today. It's been connecting fine. So you go and Amanda is leading this class.
Yeah.
And she's got a great PowerPoint and all this stuff.
You're sitting there going, man, just keep talking to them as you're.
Game stabilization, it's hard to handle.
Okay, we're gonna assume we were just stopped at Amanda in class.
Where do we go from there?
You had just said, so Amanda was teaching, supposed to do tic-tac-toe. So that's where you were just getting ready to explain why she was teaching tic-tac-toe.
So we got, Amanda was playing tic-tac-toe, right? And it was because they rule of thirds, and it was a great way to show tic-tac-toe. She had the whiteboard out there and everything, and it was really cool. I could not get the stupid Skyrim thing to connect, and so I'm like, play another game, show them the cross points. So I, jump in there with the doing cross points and doing karate and all.
And I ran down to the library
So
thinking,
this is
if I
fun.
just get a book that has pictures or even paintings, we can go, see the rule of thirds being used?
Yeah, so Mark brings up some physics book or something.
It was the Encyclopedia of Medicine or something.
So luckily we didn't have to go through that, but it connected right when you walked up.
Yeah.
So. And then all was better with the
It
world.
worked out good. So we decided not to use the overhead projector.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like that too. It's much more personal than just being able to go, look here. Because you have to hold your surface and you got to walk around to people and go, what's this? And it allows them to do.
Yeah, no, I like it.
It was neat. It was really good.
So Amanda, I thought she did a great job.
Fantastic.
I mean, talk
Yep.
about coming out of the gates, hitting a very strong home
Yeah,
run.
no, it was really good.
It was great to see again, and I'm always amazed. Maybe I'm actually surprised how the kids pick up, for the most part.
For the most part,
majority
yeah.
of
There's
them,
always a
they-
few kids that you
they
just
pick
kind
up
of
the
go.
concepts that
Yeah.
you're doing. I mean, there's some of those kids that nailed it right away. They're like, I got it.
Yep.
There's other ones.
That I'm having to go reach around them and turn their camera for them.
Show me the rule of thirds. Dead,
Dead
center.
center.
Show me the rule of thirds. Draw me your cross point. Dead center.
Yeah. And they couldn't move their cameras today. They kept trying to shift and it would just stay in the center. I don't know what they were doing, but it's like, move your camera around.
So Amanda did a great job on her lessons, and then we took it downstairs with all the fruit and vegetables we bought.
Yep.
That was fun.
I mean, every kid got a fruit or a vegetable, and then it was like, put it in the third, and we
Yeah.
moved it around, and then I had 5, you had 5, she had 5, and we all just kind of, once it felt like it was winding down, just gave them little extra things to do.
Yeah,
Each one was
for,
like something
for my
different.
group, I said, okay, let's grab all of the vegetables together. Let's build an art piece and see that. And then the next thing I did is I said, okay, let's take a fruit and put a fruit in each cross point, right? So we had 4, and they all stood on the bench and took it straight down to see if they could match the overhead view of the 4 cross points
Okay.
with a piece of fruit.
Yeah.
So it's just, things to emphasize.
Yep.
The stuff. So
And it went fast. It then it was
Oh,
like,
it's like,
hey, give
oh.
us the cameras back, and
then we realized I'm exhausted.
yeah. We were saying, man, earlier today, we don't have a photo walk today. And then it was like, wow, good thing we don't have a photo walk.
So yeah, so it's nice. Then we talked to.
We've yet to sit on the bus though this year.
We have not. We walked
The
back.
buses
to
have been so full that we're standing every time, which is fine because you can see out better.
I
But
gotta walk to and from the bus stop. That's an interesting thing to do.
yeah,
Not
it
for
was
the
better
faint-
today.
Not
but
for the faint of heart,
No.
though.
It's difficult because it's difficult enough to do yourself, but you have to get in almost the mindset of everybody with me has to figure it out themselves. We're following each other, but you can't go walk this way, turn this way, because they're going to get hit. They have to be as focused as you are, and it's like there's so many times it's like you're on this side of the bus and I'm on this side of a bus, and you just come back together, and
The thing that always-
because it's fluid.
The thing that's always scary to me is you got these gypsy buses, which are they got basically 4 categories of buses.
Yeah.
And the gypsy buses just don't care. Like, they just keep moving. But, you have a bus here and one that's coming in, and they start pitching, right?
Yeah,
They don't
that's
care if
just-
there's people in the middle. There's a wrangler, bus wrangler, pounds on the bus, right,
Yeah.
to get them to move. It's almost like you're doing back of a steer, but
Yeah, it's the pinch you got to worry
it's
about.
the pinch that always worries
Especially
me.
with a backpack on.
Yeah, and it starts to get narrow, and those buses are moving, and like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be pinched.
Yep. And so a lot of times it's like, it's narrowing, you guys are walking this way and I just have to go around the bus because I know the pinch is coming and I'm not going to make it through that funnel.
So, we anytime we're walking, and, I think it's important when you have a female with you, and this is not to say females aren't as good as men, but the reality is I want to make sure, and this happens to be my daughter, I'm going to take care of her, right? There's always one of us, her,
Yeah.
and another one of us, right? So we block her in. One of us pulls, one of us pushes,
Which is also fun, even when we're not in a dangerous spot. I love being that last guy because you watch all the eyes watching her, and then they spot me behind them, and they just kind of like, I've been caught type look,
Because everybody looks at her, and and they're not necessarily looking in a
bad way.
oogling way,
No.
right? It's that she looks different.
Yeah. It'd be like a purple person walking down the street. You'd go, oh, that person's purple. It's just, she's got red hair.
And if you were making a
She's-
purple stew, now nobody will understand the reference to that.
No. So, anyways, that's good. And then we all came back, made it back safe. Our feet today were burned.
They just were tired too.
They just felt hot.
And today was only like a 4-mile walk day, but it still was.
We were on our feet though all day. And then we sat down and was to eat lunch for about 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we were right back to walking
Right back at
around
it.
the school.
So we had plans to go to this place called Barbecue Nation tonight, which is like a cook it yourself
Shish kebab,
shish kebab
place.
buffet
Yeah.
place, and it's really good.
Like a Korean barbecue almost.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's good stuff.
Yeah.
They got a neat buffet and a good dessert bar and all stuff. But and they don't open until 6:30, so we
Yeah.
kind of hung out, and they were like, you know what? I don't want to walk all the way there. I just don't want to deal with standing up and going to get my food.
yeah.
So we went to our favorite place. Still has the name barbecue in it. But
Yep. just
BBQ,
BBQ, and it's just always good.
always good. So,
Their service was weird.
but everything was a little off. The food was great.
Yeah.
We took most of it home because we.
Yeah. But we were all kind of in that tired talking mode, and all of a sudden I went, I'm gonna drink, and I went, when did that bottle get here? And nobody could remember
Nobody
the bottle
remembered
showing
the water
up.
bottle.
There's no label on it, and so it was like, I don't want to drink this.
No,
so I was
so-
eating without any liquid.
We went through the whole meal, which I'm still thirsty. You got a drink, but
Yeah.
the whole meal without drinking the water, which is not good to do
No.
that.
But it was very good not to do it too.
Yes.
Because that's where it's gonna kill you here is the water.
You
Gotta be
it's
safe.
way too risky. I'd rather be a little thirsty than be a lot poopy.
Yes.
So
So anyways, we came back and we just hashed out our rest of our schedule, kind of adjusted it,
Mhm.
and
it's going to get adjusted again
yeah, it's
10 more times. So.
Yep.
Oh, the other thing we did was we charged all the batteries. This is now our routine, right? That we do is
Yep.
we bring all the batteries, we bring all the memory cards,
15 battery chargers around every
every
receptacle
single
in the
plug
house.
we
had
had,
one.
charge the batteries, and now they're ready to go for tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
it's
And they're not receptacles like we have.
No,
You can't plug two things in there. You have one, plus you have a switch to
you
turn
have to
it
turn
on.
on the.
So it's good. Everything's charged. Everything's ready.
Yep, we're all ready.
Now it's just I thought it was 9. It's only 8:25.
You go out and get some ice cream or something.
Yeah, I can't go to bed now. But
I'm gonna have some more Chinese food now. I'd have something to drink. I'm gonna warm it up in the
I
microwave.
still have data. I'll lay in my
Oh, yeah.
bed and watch Netflix.
We don't have a microwave, so never mind.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely drink some water though. Okay. Then we get up and we do it again tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we say we're off, but that's our day. We've got to pick photos. We've got to print photos. We got to adjust our schedule again. We got to adjust what we're teaching again.
And we gotta figure out where we're eating.
And eat a bunch, yeah. And hopefully George, he's coming back tomorrow night.
Wednesday, hopefully we can go.
Wednesday,
around.
hopefully he can give us a little tour again. He's the best tour guide in the world,
He is. He knows a little about something,
and he knows
Everything.
everybody.
and he knows a guy.
Yep. Okay.
That's all I got.
That's all I got too.
Until tomorrow. Until tomorrow.
Good night.